welcome to the Switch Clicks Podcast, episode 105, recorded on October 7th, 2022. In this episode, we'll be discussing our thoughts on the Mario movie teaser trailer. It's a me, Dakota, and today I'm joined by Nathan.
Hi.
And Tyler.
It's a me, Tyler.
Feels like we've been living with Chris Pratt Mario for 372 days? Is that right?
351, I believe.
And after how many days, we finally got a teaser trailer via Nintendo, not even at anything else. Yep. The internet has lots of opinions, but the general consensus seems to be looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me as well.
Yeah, I surprised. Not really. Okay,
it is very complicated.
I guess. Illumination is pretty well known for making pretty okay movies, but that's kind of it. Visually, they look fine. Story-wise, actually, most of them are not very good. But I feel like they've made... Granted, I haven't seen Minions Rise of Gru. Maybe it's amazing. But they've only made one good movie, being Despicable Me. And I don't know what gun was being pointed at every single one of the animators' individual heads, but this movie looks really good.
Just from like the one opening scene they have with, I guess, Bowser's Castle Kingdom flying machine thing coming in, and like the effects on the fire and the lava look really nice. And then later in that scene, Bowser flamethrowers the entire ice kingdom of the penguins, and like the effects of like the ice crumbling look really good.
Oh yes, yeah. Even just before that, when the castle's landing on top of each of the crushing the towers, you can definitely feel it happening there. Like you can see all the little details, all the little nitty gritty pieces of ice being crumbling and falling down from that tower, and you can see the lava causing a bunch of smoke from all that melting with the ice, and
the textures.
Later on, when they showcased the penguins, oh boy, that they knocked it out of the park there. I think with the way that they designed everything,
the textures on all the Koopas, they're kind of scaly but smooth. Oh, so good! It's so good. And Bowser, when Bowser is talking, just I don't know how to explain it, but just the way his face moves just feels expensive rather than kind of cheap, which
mocapped. I guarantee that's probably mocapped.
I don't think it doesn't look mocapped. It looks
monster thing. I don't think it's mocapped.
Well,
I mean, they mocapped they mocapped Smaug.
They mocapped the smile, they mocapped the face, and then they use that for reference for how
maybe, but I don't see Illumination doing that.
But it's not. They might use. Yeah, that's true. But still, it doesn't look mocapped. It looks animated, but just the way his expressions are so good.
It speaks Jack Black. I can't say enough about how Bowser looks a lot like Jack Black right now.
He's putting on a voice, which is actually everyone in this trailer is putting on a voice, which is kind of nice to see. Some more than others. But
some more than others for sure.
Yeah, when Bowser first talked, he sounded a little bit like Jack Black. I know it's Jack Black, but for anybody else that doesn't know Jack Black, that's totally Bowser. But once he got to the Power Star, it some Jack Black kind of leaked out, which is fine. He sounds like Bowser anyway.
Here's just a random little thing, but the Magic Koopa, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, he does a very good job. That does not sound like Kevin Michael Richardson in anything else.
Very, very fitting for that.
This is just a small aside, but I mostly know Kevin Michael Richardson in, if you've seen Invincible, which I kind of feel like you haven't, either of you. He voices the Blue Twins, and he has a very deep voice. And he also voices Joker in The Batman, not the live action one, but the animated one. And I don't know. I really like his Magic Koopa voice because it's very much not his normal thing.
And what did you think of the penguins?
Oh, I have so much to say. Not really. I think the penguin I am very impressed because I feel like the trailer went a very long time without telling its first joke.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like that's what you start off with most of the time.
Yeah.
So the fact that Bowser walked out of like his smoky, intimidating castle and didn't go or something like that.
Somebody
Or
needs to fix the fire or something like that.
I think
the fact
yeah, the fact that they didn't like just do some aside joke out of nowhere.
Yeah. Or like the penguins, even though they are a joke, they're taking themselves very seriously, which is a part of the joke, but also doesn't like ruin the moment.
The visual joke makes it so much better. Like we don't need anything further.
Because like if the penguins were throwing all the ice balls and I cut to the king and he was like, "Uh-oh," that would like kind of ruin the moment. It kind of reminds me of Kung Fu Panda, where it's a very jokey thing, but whenever there's like a battle between one of the two masters, it's always very serious through the whole thing and intense. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, which is very cool.
And it's a massive achievement that there was not a single fart joke.
I know.
It's true.
Oh my gosh.
When they cut away to the Koopas, I was waiting for one of them to fart.
Yeah, but no, they were actually just there, quivering in fear of Bowser's presence.
Oh, so good.
I think the dead stop. Good. I think the dead stop joke is still a little bit illumination, but you kind of had to lighten the mood a bit. It was funny.
Yeah, the dead stop is a little overdone, but I think the thing that makes the joke for me is when they cut back to the penguins and he goes, "That is but a taste of our fury. Do you surrender?
Do you yield?"
Yeah, sorry. Do you yield? And it's like, oh, no, so good.
And then that was just a perfect opportunity to hear more of Bowser.
Yeah,
I do not.
I do not.
Oh, it's so crazy. I feel so bad for Chris Pratt Mario because Jack Black like the first scene of that trailer dwarfs the second scene so much, and the second scene isn't even that bad.
Yeah, 100% agreed. We get something that feels so very fitting of Bowser, and then we move on. We cut to Mario, and then we're like, okay. This is, I guess, this is Chris Pratt doing Mario. What else do we expect? But like, if we were to hear that first and then cut to Bowser.
Yeah, if it started off with like Mario coming down, he's like, "What is this place?" And Toad's like, "Well, you see, we gotta stop Bowser." And he's like, "Who's Bowser?" And then it cuts to that scene. I don't think it would have the same effect.
Yeah,
it would definitely not have the same effect. No, everyone would probably be like happy at Chris Pratt. And then,
the trailer would be pretty good, but I feel like the first thing you see is like a really good scene. It's a very strong opening because I feel like the thing that people talk about the most is Chris Pratt's voice.
Yeah.
And if that was the first thing you saw, it leaves like a mixed impression. But Bowser being awesome,
like if that was the ending,
trailer awesome.
That would have left a really good impression at the end, and people would be like, geeking out all over Jack Black's portrayal. And speaking of which, though, Toad actually sounds pretty impressive too. Like,
it's true.
And I like that they
not sound like Keegan-Michael Key at all.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't say at all. Like I can definitely still kind of tell. But it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting either just Keegan-Michael Key with his voice, or like the hello, and then just try his hardest. But now we got a mix of both.
Which one do we get? Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bit of a joke that I'd like that they throw it in. Like they knew we were looking for that voice, but then,
I wonder if it's kind of like a Japan thing. If in the US, it's just kind of like it's the big actors. We just get the big actors to do their voice, but because Nintendo is overlooking it, they want the big actors to also put on a voice. Which I don't know. I think I like it more because it feels like you're watching a movie and you're not watching like The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch and you're like, oh yeah, that sure is Benedict Cumberbatch. Actually, I think that's a bad example because I think he is putting on a voice. but it just isn't very good.
A little bit.
I know what you mean though. Like the actors are actually putting up a real performance rather than doing it.
Other than like Chris Pratt's doing something, but it's not
something.
Like,
it's hard to tell with that 4 seconds of content.
It's true. Like he's a little bit of a twang. He put a little bit of a twang onto that Mushroom Kingdom. Here we come.
There was something
very subtle Brooklyn Italian mixed accents.
I'm a little upset that it isn't like full Mario Bros. Super Show Brooklyn, where he's like, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come, or something like.
That'd be hard.
I still think those are my fate. That's my. I love Super Show.
Super Show's amazing.
Mario. To be fair, I think I like Super Show Luigi more, but it's hard to. I think I like Charlie Day better.
Speaking
as much as I love Super Show Luigi.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Charlie Day, the only thing he did was like scream a little bit, which is just classic Luigi.
Yeah, but and it's very obviously Charlie Day going wah, wee, ah, but I don't know, he just fits like really well.
I know people commented about his appearance too, like alongside Mario.
They're all probably smear frames. How can you even see his appearance?
It's true.
Well, I mean, okay, they can see his eye. They can notice that his eyes are smaller than the video game version.
Well, that's just Mario as well.
I think I don't really see what people are complaining about because I kind of I don't know. I think it's well made.
Basically, what they did with Sonic. Well, I'm not talking about the original. Even the remade model was like slightly different from the games. I think they did that really well with this one too.
Yeah, with movie Mario, I think the things that people are pointing out is that the mustache is not the width of his face, which mustaches don't go the width of your face; they're gonna look weird. They did that in the Super Show and it looked weird. And his eyes are a little bit smaller, and his cheeks are a little bit bigger. But I think the cheeks are just bigger because his mustache is smaller.
Could be that.
The proportions are a little odd.
I think the proportions work well for a movie because looking at like the Odyssey model, for example, I can't really see that moving and expressing like an animated movie would. It works well in cutscenes and in game, but I don't think it's very good. It wouldn't be a good like character model to work with for a movie.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
So I have a feeling. This is just a random thought. I have a feeling one of the jokes that they could do is like Mario eats a mushroom, and his voice like changes for a second until he coughs, which would be his original Charles Martinet voice.
Oh,
he eats the mushroom. He goes, "I'm Brooklyn."
So he'll be like, he'll eat the mushroom. He'll start talking. He's like, okay, let's go. And then he'll be like, okay, sorry. Something like that.
I feel like that's kind of mean. That's a little mean-spirited of a joke.
It's Illumination. Come on.
It's true, but I personally hope it doesn't happen. But
well, then who do you think?
I see it I see it as a possibility.
Cameo then, if he was not going to do a drugged Mario.
Yeah.
I can't say. What I was going to say.
It's still crazy that I have no idea what Charles Martinet is going to be doing in this movie.
I think it'll be a fan. It'll be a fan thing. Like close to the end,
unless he like plays Wario as they set up like a sequel or something.
Sure.
I wouldn't announce that though. Honestly.
Yeah. And honestly, I think as much as I would like to see Charles Martinet do stuff, I do think with his Wario especially, I don't think I could hear that for an entire movie.
Yeah.
Because like, money, garlic. Like that, for an entire movie, that gets a little annoying. Which, yeah.
I mean, he's clearly proven that he's been able to play like various characters. So, I mean, like, he could just be the most random character ever, and we wouldn't even notice.
Mm-hmm. That would be funny. It's like, did you catch Charles Martinet? He was Toad number 4 in the background, selling Mario, I don't know, a fire flower.
Maybe the last thing we can kind of discuss is the plot of the movie. It seems pretty easy to figure out.
An origin story.
Yeah, I think privately I discussed this with Nathan, and I basically predicted it. And in the poster that they've released, I think 2 days before or the Monday right before, it was basically Mario being amazed on Mushroom Kingdom, and the Toad that we see in the trailer was like showing him into the kingdom, and that just spoke to me that okay, it's Mario's first time seeing it, and he's discovering the Mushroom Kingdom. I did not expect that this would be, I assume, an isekai, which is just weeb for going into another world.
Not to mention that Toad seems suspiciously like Captain Toad based on the poster.
Yeah.
It is a little weird that in the trailer, they probably just cut out the middle section where they explain names to each other, but Toad goes from, "Don't touch that. Oh, never mind, that one's okay." And then immediately cuts to, "Let's go, Mario."
Yeah.
I assume he didn't get to the ground to the top of a mushroom magically, so
it's
definitely something
probably
there.
Just cut out him saying, but it could also be like a chosen one plot where they're like, "Whoa, the man in the red overalls, he's destined to beat King Koopa."
I would hate that so much, because that would completely eliminate the joke where Princess Peach gets kidnapped every week.
Yeah,
and
that's true. It's true.
Completely illuminate.
Prediction for Charles Martinet. I feel like Mario comes in, they're like, "Oh, we got a new plumber. Great, we can get this other one out of here." And then there's like a guy in a brown suit, and he's like, "What do you mean? I'm getting the plumbing done."
Jumpman.
And then they kick him out, and he's like, "What?"
And then wait, no, they discover he's a carpenter. That's why they fired him.
Okay, that's rough.
Let's go, Pauline.
Let's go, Pauline. We don't need ourselves in the. Let's go to Sahara.
Pauline
Land,
is like the
that
receptionist at the castle.
Gosh.
Something like that. I could totally see that. That'd be so funny. We should write this movie. What the heck?
Yeah, I think we do better. Yeah. You saw our casting video, probably, considering we got a bunch of subscribers from it. You know we do better.
Anyways, the plot looks like it's just going to be, Bowser, he's taken over a bunch of kingdoms. He's going from kingdom to kingdom. I assume that penguin scene will likely be shortened in the actual movie, I assume. Or that'll be the first of a montage of kingdoms. And then he eventually gets to the Mushroom Kingdom, and Mario just has to defend it. So I think it'll be less of an adventure.
To the movie?
Maybe? I could see
that.
I
could see it as that. Like, it kind of plays out like how the trailer does, where, like, I don't know, the penguins are guarding a superstar, so he melts their castle, or like gets him. Or maybe he melts the castle and gets a map to it, and then goes to Princess Peach, kidnaps her, and gets the superstar. And then Mario shows up, but that could also just simply not be it.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to say, but obviously it's just going to be a Mario game. Yep.
Yeah.
Plot.
It's cinematic at a cinematic level.
Yeah.
Which I think is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Like obviously the Sonic movie kind of is weighed against it, because Sonic's story is Sonic must stop Dr. Eggman from turning animals into robots, which is a little shallow and doesn't really have much to do, so they had to work off of it. Where this is a story that has been done before, so you know where to build off of it and make it interesting.
I just realized Sonic is also an isekai. It's a reverse isekai, but still an isekai.
Mm-hmm. It's a Smurfs, if you will.
Yeah. Which is also just in the Hollywood saying it's just a fish out of water story.
Yeah. Actually, it's probably more like a hop, because it also has James Marsden in it.
That's true. Now, are we all prepared to see the reveals of the other characters, like Peach?
Did you see the leak for Peach?
I did not. I am not.
There was a leak for Peach. I think it happened almost the same way. It was a McDonald's ad or something.
McDonald's ad? Oh.
Yeah. She looked pretty good. She looked like a Disney princess, but her body proportion was completely wrong.
So what?
Same proportions of Mario, but the face looked like a Disney princess.
Oh gosh. Okay.
It was a little odd.
Yeah.
You're scaring me.
Granted, the leak was also only like half. Like it was like
Yeah.
waist. It wasn't the full body. So who knows?
I get McDonald's.
And like
I
for
also-
ADP.
Yeah, I do wonder if Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be doing a voice. Probably, because I don't really see her voice being Peach. But yeah,
I can't imagine she has many lines. Mario! 10 times.
yeah.
Oh no. Oh,
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I baked you a cake.
That's how the movie should start. Oh my gosh! That would be
That'd be-
so fun.
gosh.
Or that's the post-credit scene for the sequel. Dear
Oh.
Mario, I've been kidnapped again. This time I'm in Wario Land with my best friend Daisy, aka
Played by
Zendaya.
Zendaya. Yeah. I think just as last, not really a tangent. I think I'm still standing strong on my prediction I made a long time ago when it was first announced. The movie will start with the Illumination logo, and a minion goes Illumination, and then gets stomped on by Mario. And he's like all waddly with his like hand sticking out, and he's been stomped and squished. And then another minion laughs at him, and then Luigi stomps on him.
You know what?
And
that could be.
That's how the movie. That's my
realistic.
prediction.
That's realistic for Illumination intros.
Either that or like the reverse, and like a minion hits a block made of the Illumination logo, he becomes big and destroys the Illumination logo. It was like almost one of the two. That could be a play on Pixar.
Or it
Oh,
could be a bunch of minions trying to eat a mushroom. One of them does, and then stomps on all the other minions.
There's a lot of ways it could go, honestly. It's going to be a play
still-
on Nintendo, though.
I am still
that's
team.
the beauty of Illumination. They just
I am. Or okay, honestly, probably the most realistic is Nintendo goes no, and minions don't show up at the beginning.
I mean, it's Illumination's baby.
It's true.
Illumination. They probably have to. They probably want to do it.
They showed up in Sing, right? I'm
They
pretty
did.
sure they did.
They did.
I'm
Oh,
still
no.
team. One of them gets stomped, one gets laughed, and then gets stomped. That's like, that's what I'm thinking.
We'll have to see on April, 28th?
Yeah.
Something like that.
7th,
April 7th.
7th, 8th. I don't know. I know it's on the week of April Fools, or at least after.
April 7th. Just confirmed it.
7th. Yeah.
All right. I think we're at the end. I don't have anything else to say.
Not much else to say other than
Goodbye. It's like when
Wait,
you
what
close
does
the
he say
DS.
at the? Yeah, when he closes the DS.
Yeah, he goes, goodbye. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
Stop saying 4-2.
Goodbye.
You said 4-2 like 8 times.
Well, that's why he says. That's what he says. He goes, thank you so much for playing our game.
Oh, that's true.
Does he say 4-2? Huh?
He does. Yeah, he does.
No shot.
Yeah.
Play the ending. What? Search up the ending.
Thank you so much for playing my game. No shot, he says 2. It's at the end of 64.
Yes.
Yes, it is 64.
Right at the very end.
He says 4-2! What the heck?
I'm telling you, I told you. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Follow us on Twitter and listen to future episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Join our community Discord server to continue today's discussion. And we'll see you next time on the Switchy Clicks podcast. Goodbye.